Hey everyone, I'm Armor Gaming. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to episode 5 of the comparison series. Today we are going to be comparing Frostbite and General Thetys. These two monsters, I imagine there's going to be a lot of debate over. Like, Frostbite is really good, General Thetys is very good, and I'm going to try doing something a little bit differently. If you go on Discord right now, there's actually going to be two waiting rooms. There's going to be a waiting room that's called Waiting Frostbite, another waiting room called Waiting General Thetys. Now, if you're pro General Thetys, please go to the General Thetys waiting room. Oh, whoa. Okay, sorry about that. I had my own stream playing. So if you're pro General Thetys, please go to the General Thetys waiting room. If you're pro Frostbite, go to the Frostbite waiting room. And what I'm going to try to do is to pull one person from each room, and I'm going to have you guys debate over which monster is better. I think that hopefully my intention is that it makes it for a better stream. That way we get people debating with each other as opposed to me asking the same people, because what I noticed from last stream is the Passion and Shalnar, after a while everyone pretty much said the same thing about Shalnar. You know, she's better because of her inner fire skill and her speed is better, her life is better. So I'm hoping this creates kind of a different conversation. So once again, please go to Discord and go to the appropriate room. If you're pro Frostbite, go to the Frostbite room. If you're pro General Thetys, go to the General Thetys room. And yeah, before I want to start, I also want to give a big thanks to Vegan, who donated $1 yesterday. Also Miguel, if you're watching this, he actually gave me a $15 Google Play gift card, so big thanks to you. And with that out of the way, let's get into it. Frostbite has a power of 3,476, pretty high for a denier. Life 27,747, speed 3,421. That speed is not the fastest for a denier. Moving on to General Thetys, we have 3,278 for power, not that high compared to Frostbite, and oddly enough, General Thetys can be made into an attacker. You'll see some of her attacks later on, hopefully. Life is 26,540, slightly lower than Frostbite. They're both not that high compared to other water monsters though. And speed 3,421, the exact same as Frostbite. Moving on to traits, Frostbite has Energized, whereas General Thetys has Tough. So that is that as far as information. I'm gonna be moving on to Discord. We're gonna be polling people. Let's see what everyone has to say. So Discord, where are you? No one's in the waiting room right now, so so this makes things awkward. This is the awkward thing about live streams. Now is the perfect time to go into the waiting room so I can pull people up. If not, I guess I'll just start by giving like my own mini analysis on everything. Let me make sure everything is active. Yes, everything should be working properly. I guess I can start off until people join the waiting room. So, okay, actually, Night Doom just joined, so I'm gonna pull up Night Doom, and he's pro Frostbite. And then Night Doom,
Yes.
you're on.
Okay, so who's going to start?
Okay, okay, great. We have two people on. Okay, let's go with the pro Frostbite first, and then we'll move on to pro Thetys.
All right. So I'm going first, right?
Yeah.
All right. So generally, Frostbite and Thetys are basically pretty much both amazing water deniers, that's for sure. And Frostbite is the better of the two for like a number of reasons. Because one, he has two AOE freezes, one of them which also drains 100% stamina, which is really useful, especially if one of the monsters is like a general or maybe immune to freeze. And also Frostbite has something that Thetys doesn't have, which is a lot of stamina sustain, if you know what I mean.
Oh, like, yeah, definitely.
Because he can gain back a lot of stamina, whereas Thetys, if she uses stamina devours, there's a time she's gonna be pretty much lacking in stamina unless she happens to use Elite Sea Troops, which sometimes you won't be able to use that skill because you'll be so focused on denying that you won't be able to use that. So Frostbite will have to recharge a lot less, which means like, because recharging is basically you're wasting a turn. So Frostbite will just be able to constantly use something, whereas Thetys has to recharge a lot, use up stamina devours.
All right. Do you want a rebuttal?
So should I go now?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So you said that Thetys wastes a turn by recharging with her stamina devours.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you this: what is a water? What do you see in water team wars? You see deniers everywhere. What
Mm-hmm.
does General Thetys has for her talent? She has hardened. So basically, even if Thetys says to her enemies that which are faster than her, says, "That's a nice freeze you got there. It would be a shame if it missed on me." And then I would use Stamina Devour, and then my attacker would go, and then my attacker would annihilate your team. Meanwhile, what does Frostbite have for his talent? Frostbite has an energized talent, which is completely useless on Frostbite, since Frostbite can like literally never recharge, since he can sustain his stamina a lot. That's
Mm.
one of the big points I have. And also, if you look at Frostbite cooldowns, they are really high. Like Icy Leech 4 turns. Um, wait, I don't know how to pronounce this. The Geish.
Glacial Snowstorm.
Yeah, that too has a 4 turn cooldown. Meanwhile, on Thetis, if you wait, 1 second. Meanwhile, on Thetis, you can just spam her. Wait. Oh boy. Well,
Uh,
Thetis.
It's also kind of high.
Thetis,
Well, yeah, but I mean, Thetis also has an AoE freeze. If you like, sometimes it with her frosting sea monster, sometimes it lands, sometimes it doesn't. Since it has 50% accuracy, but that's also a problem with Frostbite. Like the having that freeze isn't that much useful since a lot of water monsters are immune to freeze. So
but
I'd
that's what
say
but that's what his other AoE freeze, I can't remember what the name is, but the one with the 100% stamina
Yeah,
drain.
Glacial Snowstorm.
Yeah. As well as Icy Leech. Those both have a stamina drain. So
Here's one thing I am gonna put up. Thetys and Frostbite, we agree they're not the fastest water deniers, right?
hmm
So
yeah.
all things being equal, like say Cavenfish is a popular monster on defense, he's way faster than Frostbite and Thetys, and Cavenfish is immune to freeze. There's also been an uprise of other monsters that aren't water immune to freeze, like Taiga. I think there's another light monster and Hercule.
Louis Calibra.
Louis immune to
Louis.
freeze. So
Well,
I
yeah.
think they're starting to bring a lot of monsters that are immune to freeze. So in that regard, Frostbite might still be able to 100% drain, but then the freeze might not be as effective. Whereas General Thetys is 100% stamina drain all across the board. So how does that influence your opinion, Night Doom?
Well,
but
wait, can I
the
say something?
yeah, go ahead.
That's also something. If Cavenfish is so popular, that is also another benefit for General Thetis because she has her hardened train, her tough train,
Yeah, tough.
which is amazing. So yeah.
Alright, go for it, Night Doom.
Alright, so but Thetis only has stamina devours for a stamina drain, whereas Frostbite has two technically.
Mhm.
And also about the Cavenfish thing. Um, so are you saying um for the argument for tough? Are you saying that if Thetis is on defense or if she's on offense?
I would say for offense, because if all things are equal, um, if let's say you have level 10 runes, your opponent has level 10 runes, Cavenfish is going first, regardless whether you run Frostbite or Thetys. So with that assumption, if you bring Frostbite into the battle, there's a high chance you're going to lose the battle. Whereas with Thetys, you have that 35% chance to ignore the immobilizing.
Hmm. So
Um,
yeah.
well, there's also one thing that what's the team war? Mainly, the team war is two elements and like
The rarity.
uncommon, common, rare, epic, which you don't care that much for this, only if it is legendary, which is kind of more rare. And what does Thetis have? She has a base attack which freezes only one target. So like if you really don't want to get hit by not the water monster, because the water monster probably has immune to freeze. If you don't want to get hit from the other guy, with the other element, you can just freeze him. So I don't think it really matters if you have an AoE freeze or not, because what do you freeze? You don't freeze the water monster because it has immune to freeze most of the time. You don't really want to freeze the rarity monster unless it's legendary, because even if you freeze the rarity monster, if it is an epic, it just increases your chance by winning just a slight, or really bit, like 2% more chance of winning. Meanwhile, you just want to freeze the other element, which is like a dark attacker, for example. It is like Voltic, it is like, I don't know, just an attacker. Thetys can do that too, because she has like one target freeze. It doesn't need like to freeze the entire team.
But if Frostbite uses Glacial Snowstorm, he can 100% stamina drain the water monster and then freeze both of the other monsters, which is also good because you're denying the entire team. Whereas if Thetys uses Abyss attack, you only freeze the other element, which is probably an attacker, and then the denier is still open to freeze you.
Yeah, but my assumption is that the water monster is probably going to be immune to freeze. And let's say they have a Voltic, a General, like who has a hardened or tough drain. You have to make that decision where you want to like either stamina drain the water who is immune to freeze, or you are afraid of the other monsters, so you want to stamina drain him.
Yeah. So
Meanwhile,
yeah, can I interject
Yeah.
real quick? One of the popular teams I see on Player vs Player is a Thetys and Voltic, and I always run Frostbite. And there's been so many times when I choose to deny General Thetys because of fear of stamina devours that the freeze doesn't land on Voltic due to his hardened, and then Voltic ended up killing me. And then because of that, vice versa, I'm like, I'm gonna drain Voltic stamina, and then Thetys does stamina devours, and I still end up losing. So I can see that argument for a Thunder Water War. It's definitely because they have hardened and tough in this game. It's kind of hard when you have, like, yeah, you can 100% drain one of them, but then that freeze may or may not land.
Yeah, exactly.
I can totally see that argument. All right, so like I said, the Frostbite Thetys, it's a tough one. It's a real tough one.
So I'm gonna change the view. No, not the view, but like the area of of argument for a little bit. I'm gonna talk about defense for a little bit.
All right.
Because Thetys is really popular for defense, and so I'm just gonna ask you a question. If you could choose between Frostbite or Thetys, and they're both level 100 and they have the same exact runes, who would you run for defense?
My answer or his answer?
Anyone?
All right. I'll start off. I would say it depends on the other monsters in for Team Wars. If like I said, if they have someone like Taiga who's immune to freeze or Louis immune to freeze, I would go with Thetys because that guarantees the denial all across the board. But if it's someone who's not immune to freeze, I'd easily go Frostbite because overall the fact that he can freeze and stamina drain is better.
I would like go Thetys because she also has that hardened, like not hardened. Sorry, I keep saying hardened.
Yeah.
That tough trait, which like benefits her a lot.
So I'm gonna ask that.
She has
I'm gonna
chance.
yeah. All right, so I'm gonna follow up that question saying, what if Thetys doesn't use Stamina Devours on defense, and instead she uses like Abyss Attack or Frosting Sea Monster, which is slightly less effective because Frostbite has 2 AoE freezes.
Mm-hmm. Wait, are you saying General Thetys on defense, right?
Yeah.
So, General Thetys on defense. If she doesn't do Stamina Devours, I mean, but Frostbite is immune to freeze. Isn't immune to freeze, so it's easy to immobilize him.
Yeah, and he's also very slow. So
Yeah.
I'm saying if like comparing 2 scenarios, if both like one scenario where Thetys is on defense, one scenario where Frostbite is on defense. If Thetys on defense doesn't use Stamina Devours, and she happens to use a different attack, then she's gonna immobilize one monster, which is likely gonna be the rarity monster.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in the Frostbite scenario, he has 2 AoE freezes, So he's more likely to use his one of his AoE freezes, which will likely knock out the rarity and deny two monsters.
I would say no, because if Frostbite is on defense, that means you're bringing a water monster. So, a good player would bring a water monster that's either faster than the enemy Frostbite, or can immobilize Frostbite, or is immune to freeze. I mean, whereas your other monster, it'd either be someone that has hardened, tough, or is immune to freeze himself. And then your rarity, even rares now have monsters immune to freeze that are water, and there's lots of epics. Nautilus one, the most popular one, is also immune to freeze. So this is where I'm seeing that immunity to freeze isn't as powerful as it used to be. There's too many monsters across the board in different elements and different rarities, or different elements and rarities that are immune to freeze.
Yeah, meanwhile, having a skill that will always immobilize you and drain your stamina like 10 out of 10 times is like really good right now.
So again, saying Thetys doesn't use Summon Devours and she decides to use
I mean,
a bit say
I mean, yeah. In that case, like General Thetys fails, and then you take over the game.
mm-hmm.
But
you're relying on luck on that case, I think.
But you can increase your luck chance because Thetys has her Frosting Sea monster, which also can freeze the entire team with 50%, which can happen. It sometimes it will freeze the entire enemy team if the AI messes up and doesn't use Stamina Devours.
Huh.
It can happen. It isn't like impossible. So.
All right, so you guys have been on for quite a bit, so I'm gonna get more people on just so I can get more opinions. But thanks to the both of you.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, I'm gonna pull you guys to general. All right, so yeah, like I said, this is a debate. I anticipate there's gonna be lots of varying opinions. Frostbite versus Thetys. It's really honestly kind of hard to decide who is better when both of them, they can work in different scenarios. Specifically, like for Team Wars, the monsters popular on defense that I've seen, and then you guys can correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, if you guys have seen someone else, would have to be General Thetys. And General Thetys, because she was in the shop, lots of times you'll see her ranked up, and she also, once again, she has tough, so it's 35% of the chance you won't be able to immobilize her. You also see Cabin Fish on defense, because Cabin Fish can AoE stun, and not that many water monsters, with the exception of Varna, are immune to stun. So he's a popular water monster to put on defense. So with that being said, Cabin Fish is faster than both Frostbite and Thetys, and Thetys has the same speed as Frostbite, obviously. Who is a better monster to bring for offense? That is difficult, but let's see what Slime Studios has to say. And let's bring up Pro Gaming. Alright, got two people on right now. Oh no, Pro Gaming left. Give me 1 sec, Slime. Let me put Partly Ska. Party Ska. I always say partly, sorry. Party Ska, 420, you're on.
Oh, lit.
Alright, let's start off with Pro Thetys.
Yeah, I think Thetys is better because she can use Stamina Devours to drain the whole team, rather than Frostbite's skill to just drain one enemy monster. And I know his ultimate is generally better than Thetys because she just has a single target attack, which is quite powerful. But with Thetys, she can use... Well, earlier you were talking about Thunder Water War, so
yeah.
Say we're using that, and say we're using General Thetys and Voltic. If your Voltic is faster than the enemy deny monster, you can use Elite Sea Troop, so it'll give him precision. So you can use his 50,000 volts, and that can take out the enemy Frostbite or General Thetys. But with Frostbite, I know he has a double damage and energy regen, but with Thetys, she actually has the precision.
Alright, rebuttal.
Do you mean me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going with Frostbite just because he does have better stats, but speed-wise they're exactly the same, so it depends on runes. People for Thetys will probably put on speed and energy, while people for Frostbite might put on a little bit different. So it really
Actually,
just depends on luck.
let me interject. I would say both of these monsters would always run off speed.
Yeah.
They should. They should.
Well, I mean, Thetys does have elite sea troops, which can restore all energy and give like damage, but she needs stamina. So either she does that or stamina devours first. So then she either has to take a turn to recharge, or she's gonna have to. Well, either way, she's gonna have to recharge before she can use her other ability. So Frostbite, you just you can deny the enemy like main attacker, and then if they can't do anything really, then you can use your attacker depending on what element. Obviously, I heard about the Thunder and Water War. In that situation, you would want to see Voltic. Obviously, is an enemy. However, there is Thetys who can, in the long run, can do more. So Frostbite, and I'll expand on that later. Like I'll still talk. I'm just trying to like configure everything I can for now.
Oh, that's fine. All right, go for it, Slime.
Well, generally speaking, in war, I definitely think Thetis is better going in yourself, like attacking wise, offensive,
Yes.
because the war, if you're faster, because generally that's what you want to pick in a war, someone who's slower than you can use the stamina devours, but that does have a smaller chance. Well, that has a chance of triggering the enemy's ultimates. And with Frostbite, his stamina drain skill in the freezing, most monsters, as you said, nowadays are immune to freeze, like in lots of different elements. Like Louis Caliber, he's an earth element and he's immune to freeze.
Yeah, and let me just add that Gorin and Oros also are immune to freeze and stun.
Yeah, because they have that mountain effect.
Yep.
It's really hard to decide by these two because they're probably the best two deniers in the game.
Mhm.
And yeah, because you can each go your separate ways. Because with Frostbite, as I said earlier, he has two AoE freezes, but a lot of monsters are immune to freeze, and his Icy Leech skill, which can drain 100% stamina as well. So basically, in 2 turns, he can drain two monsters' stamina, and Thetis can do it in 1 turn, 3 monsters, but she has to recharge.
Mhm.
Okay, I want to check. Is this gonna work? So I'm gonna go to another tab. Am I still speaking or not?
Yeah, you are.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm on the wiki and it's not working good. Okay, I'll just scroll back to it later. What I see for Frostbite, he has a lot of energy drain, and Thetys has the one massive energy drain AoE, and that removes all her energy. So that leaves her weakened for attack because she really can't do anything unless she has items. But in a war, can't use items. For ultimate move, Frostbite wins, only because it's a 65 damage AoE with the ability of removing stamina and adding stamina.
For sure.
At the same time, CDs, all generals only have a single target ult move, which is kind of like staple.
So yeah, I go for it.
Not all generals have the one single target. If you look at General Alcest, he has the AoE nature skill.
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
Either way, Frostbite still I think is better because he has more energy drain. He's made to give energy to the team and to lose energy for the opponents. Thetys only has 2 energy attacks, so as a denying, long term, Frostbite wins. But one, most games like PvP or any battle don't last a few minutes or a few seconds, depending on how it goes. So it's really hard to choose. But if it's long term, Frostbite would win. He has a lot more energy to go through. Like, energy abilities.
There's something you can also do, like say if you, since Thetys was in the shop, if you have two Thetys, which most people probably don't know because they've used the monster lab, but if you have two Thetys, one faster than the other, one you can just use to drain everyone's stamina, and then the other one can use elite sea troops to also give you precision and damage and refill all your stamina for the other Thetys.
Well, for Thetys, her abilities are kind of expensive. Like Standard Devourers takes up 140, basically all of it if you don't have any energy runes. However, for Frostbite, the most expensive ability is only 30 energy, and it's Arctic Boot, allowing for extra damage and energy. That's good because he's adding energy to the team, which pairing him with Voltic in a team war can lead to some pretty easy victories because he'll always be able to constantly use static shocks and everything because people keep replenishing his energy. So you can already see how good he is there in a war, point of view.
All right, I'm actually going to cut you off, guys, there. Thank you so much for giving your opinion. I'm going to see what more people have to say. So I'm going to pull you guys back into general. Once again, thanks to both of you.
Wait, can I have a request for the next, discussion thing?
Yeah, go for it.
Quinn versus General Atom.
All right, so chat, you guys heard of that? Chin, General Atom, let me know what you guys think about that. Slime, do you also want to give a request before you go?
The scores sound really bad, but Lord Moltus versus Vadagma.
All right, you guys heard it. If you guys want to see that comparison, make sure to let me know in the chat. Thank you, Slime. All right, so two things I want to say about Slime and Party who just had this discussion. General Thetys, a lot of people probably do have more than one General Thetys. I know I myself have like 4 in storage, and 2 General Thetys actually hatched already, so if I want to, I could easily rank up General Thetys, and she can outspeed a lot of monsters. Another point I want to bring up is this whole thing of ranked monsters. And something Party touched on, that a lot of matches don't really last that long. Lots of matches, if you can just deny and then your attacker, most of the time your attacker is strong enough to one-hit the enemy monster, or like at least severely damage them, right? If it's like a fire water war, like regardless whether I run Frostbite or General Thetys, I'm still able to have Shalnar like winning when hits, essentially. So does it really matter? That can be debated. This debate is still going strong. I'm gonna bring up 2 more people. I'm gonna do Demon Slayer and Dib, the awesome 2 friends. Let's see what they have to say. Demon, you're on. Dib, you're on.
Hey, how's it going?
Going good. I'm really curious to see what both of you have to say about this.
Oh yeah, we called it too, and we called it in the chat too.
So let's start off with, let's see, Demon, you're alone on General Thetys. Not that many people think General Thetys, so let's start with you. Okay, I think we're having that trouble yesterday where we can't hear you. Can you hear him, Dib?
I can hear him. I can hear Demon. Yeah, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. I can't hear Demon.
Oh, okay.
This happened yesterday. Shoot.
He's asking if it's working. Can you hear him?
In that case, Dib. I'm gonna start with you, and then Demon. Let him know that just keep talking. Hopefully, I'll let him know when I can hear him. If he interjects.
So Demon, Armor wants you to start talking. I'm gonna do my discussion first on Frostbite and why he's better than Thetys. Then as soon as he can hear you, it's gonna jump to Demon, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's why Frostbite is better than Thetys. All right. I like in the chat when I just got off from work. I saw the thing and I was thinking about. Well, I'm gonna take this in the idea that they're both level 100. All right. That they're both not
fair enough.
Up.
Yeah, I love when it's fair. Go for it.
So Frostbite wins for a number of reasons. One, its speed is slightly faster than Thetys. Of course, this totally depends on.
They have the same speed, right?
They do?
Yeah, they're both 3, 4, 2, 1. Yeah.
Oh, I never know. I thought you had a higher.
Does
speed.
your opinion change? Because speed is really important.
All right, but no, my opinion still doesn't change.
Okay.
You could do a different. I mean, like rune sets. Obviously, you function in that way. You know, you can have 3 team speed on whatever thing you just brought, and then just 1 on your attacker. So anyway, another reason why he's better than Thetys, he doesn't suffer from the drawback from the like you know how Thetys suffers from an AOE stamina. Like she'll suffer from her AOE stamina drain too.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the hugest things. And it's really bothersome. I hear a lot of people like once they use their AOE stamina drain, a lot sometimes. I don't know if it's a whole lot, but have you ever had it where they already got their ultimate?
Yes. I have my theory for that is that we're so used to doing AOE freeze, AOE stun that obviously the opponent never gets a chance to use an ultimate. That when we do stamina devours, we start seeing it a lot, but that's just because obviously they're not stunned.
Yeah, because they're not frozen.
Yeah, I don't think.
Frostbite.
A lot of people would say it increases the chance. I don't think that's the case. I think it's just we're not used to seeing it.
I think one thing that makes him really great is that the single target 100% stamina drain that combos into an AOE freeze, or like it's a built-in stamina drain plus everyone's frozen. I think that works really great. It denies the enemy water monster. Hopefully they don't get their ultimate, of course. But you know everyone else is frozen at this point. And then another case is he has another 100% stamina drain, and he has a 2-turn freeze.
Can I ask you, what are the monsters you mostly see on defense for water?
And all I see, I see
maybe,
a lot.
Maybe I shouldn't ask you. What do you see?
Thetys.
Okay.
Thetys.
Thetys and who else?
Probably Kevin.
Cavenfish. All right.
Kevin.
So
Kevin.
Given that Cavenfish is faster than Frostbite and Thetys, and let's assume all things are equal, Frostbite and Thetys would both go after the enemy Cavenfish. Who would you take into battle, Frostbite or General Thetys?
Probably still Frostbite.
Given that Frostbite can be stunned and frozen?
Do I have the option to bring something that's immune to like a mountain monster like Oros or Goron?
All right, so let's assume a Earth and Water War then. Most likely the enemy would also have an Oros or someone immune to freeze, right?
Oh, yeah.
So like this is where I was trying to bring forth this thing that Frostbite, he's great that he has that 100% stamina drain and then AoE freeze. But the problem is, recently they've got monsters like Taiga, who's immune to freeze. He's a light monster. Hercule, who's metal, immune to freeze. Louis, an earth monster, immune to freeze. And we're starting to get a lot of these monsters immune to freeze. Epics have Nautilus 1. I think a few other epics that are starting to be immune to freeze. I think we have the very first rare monster immune to freeze. And I'm seeing more and more monsters immune to freeze, which I think is limiting Frostbite's, like, his amazingness.
Oh, yeah. No, that would totally bring him down a few pegs, yeah.
I think
I don't like the only reason, because like Frostbite can do like double damage. He can do AoE double damage.
Wait, Dib, hold on. Demon, I can hear you slightly. Demon,
you can barely hear me?
Okay, you're perfect. I can hear you now.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
debate Dib now.
Well, continue, Dib. Just continue, cause.
Alright. So another thing, Frostbite has. He also has the AoE, double damage and stamina refill. That's also a really nice. That's a really nice AoE buff. I think, in all honesty, I think that's about it. With the full on stamina drain. Some really bad things about Frostbite, I will admit, is the fact that he himself can be frozen. That's a horrible thing. Yeah. That's really horrible if you don't.
Frostbite has like high cooldown too. Don't forget about that. He doesn't have high cooldown, but he has like around like a 2-turn cooldown.
He's got 2 4-turn cooldowns. No, you're not wrong about the cooldown thing. But I think just because the deny is just so heavy, like by the time he
when you're trying to rotate it, it's not gonna.
Yeah, you got a specific rotation. You have to do the
Thetys, like she has like she can have like a 0 cooldown with a 50% freeze. That's pretty good, honestly.
The thing that's on a 2-turn cooldown, that 2-turn AoE freeze. I think it really doesn't matter that the cooldowns are high because the cooldown on the again the 2-turn cooldown AOE freeze, that's only on again 2-turn cooldown. So after you use the glacial thing, you stamina drained the enemy water monster. And you freeze everything else. I mean, given you pick your fights, so you
Yes.
will obviously pick a situation where Frostbite shines the best. It just gets given with any denier in the game. You always pick the one that is best suited for the situation.
So
And then you can kill the water monster at that point.
I think that's one thing that a lot of people are considering. You always pick a battle in which you have the advantage. In which case, to me, it's not really fair to say this monster's better because I went into a battle where I had an advantage. That's kind of like saying I have a level 130 and I beat people that have level 100s. That's not a fair comparison.
That's actually a valid.
One thing I like to do is compare monsters, like you said at the beginning, assuming level 100s and assuming the same runes, right?
Right.
In which case,
Frostbite. I mean, not Frostbite. Thetys. Thetys obviously has that 35%.
Yeah.
That glorious 35% immune to all.
Tough, yeah.
so,
Yeah.
What I
That's
also
what I
like
think.
about these is her buff. Like when she buffs like her allies, it gives damage boost, increased accuracy, and 100% stamina refill. That's really useful.
That's nice.
But the thing is, like, even though like double damage is better, at least you get like accuracy. Because sometimes, like, if your attacker misses, and then like the other attacker can like ruin your team like easily.
See, I
Like,
feel
there's
like
a chance
nobody
that would happen.
like a lot of water wars. I feel like nobody really brings blind. I feel like on defensive teams, I really don't see that unless it's like an egg eater or Invarv. I don't see blind all that much. Like on a defensive
Like I would mostly say like Cabin Fish or Cabin Fish and Team Wars mostly.
Yeah. Which is my main
Like,
argument
I
for.
rarely see like DDs. Unless if it's like lower teams, then yeah, of course I would see like ranked DDs, but like in higher teams, like in the top teams, like you would rarely see DDs.
Yeah, that's
It would
kind
be
of.
mostly,
I kind of
Cabin
that's
Fish.
I origin like when I was walking home too. I was obviously like I see a lot of ranked up Thetys. I didn't want my when I was actually thinking on who would I'd actually go for in the long run. Because believe it, like if you ever go to PvP arena, we it's no doubt you see a lot of ranked up Thetys. In fact, that's the Thetys is the poster gal pretty much. Everybody has, if there's one thing that at least one monster that they'll ever get to 130, it's probably Thetys first. Probably they probably have that. That was probably the first thing when Monster Lab came out was all these Thetys at 130 or 115. So am I wrong on probably as soon as Frostbite does get out of date, then Thetys will probably get back up on that in that time when that time comes. Of course, I'll probably side with the CD cause when there's actually more becomes more and more apparent, or like as soon as he stops, as soon as Frostbite stops falling, it starts falling off.
I don't know. I guess I'm gonna pull up more people. There's only one more person that's pro Thetys, so I'm curious to hear their opinion on this. You guys want to say anything else?
Well, of course, like Thetys has like a single freeze. I forgot I haven't finished my opinions on Thetys. Like, of course, like Thetys has a single freeze, and she also has a AOE freeze, but that's like 50%. So
yeah,
and
you're really hoping on that stamina drain. That stamina drain never misses. That's the glorious part.
Yes.
Oh, there's another thing.
I've never seen that thing miss.
Like, what's another thing in PvP or like Team Wars? I see people run like Thetys on defense, and then whether sometimes on defense they would use the buff, the elite sea troops.
Yeah.
So basically, like,
I actually had a friend who said that.
Oh, it's not a really good move for defense.
Yeah. I had a friend.
It's really not.
I had a friend that said
But for like dungeons, it's like a good move to use.
Information for everyone out there. Hold on, Demon. Information for everyone out there. If you have General Thetys and you can make a second build for defense, testing the auto battle feature we've had. Apparently, if you run Stamina Devours and Elite Sea Troops, it tends to use Elite Sea Troops a lot. Whereas if you run Stamina Devours and no Elite Sea Troops, you tend to use Stamina Devours a lot. So don't do Elite Sea Troops on a defensive Thetys build.
Oh wow, I'd love to start
Yeah.
seeing that in PvP, like in PvP arena where they don't do the stamina drain on the first turn all the time.
Yeah, it's funny.
Sadly, I see that all the time.
All right, Demon,
But,
go ahead and
this
finish.
was a-
Or sorry,
Yep.
Demon. I want Demon to finish up what he's got to say. There's so many more people I gotta pull up. I knew
Well, like,
I knew
of
this
course,
conversation
like,
would be crazy.
of course, like people would go for Frostbite, but the thing is, like, Thetys is more easy to rank up because of Team Wars. Like, without Team Wars, then Thetys would be like really hard to rank up. Like, so people would mostly go for Frostbite. So, like, of course, like, Frostbite is better than Thetys, of course, but like, there's like a level advantage of it too.
So you're bringing in the ones ranked, ones not ranked.
Well, yeah.
I would say, like, what about, okay, final question to you. Both monsters level 100. Who would you say is better? If someone just asked you who's better, like, without having to
Like,
to defend yourself, just if you had to give an answer.
Would I
Like, of course I'll go with Frostbite,
would I also
but-
be using these things on defense too?
Just overall, like, someone comes up to you, they ask you one thing, who's better, and no, you have no other information to go on, just who's better, whatever you interpret as being better.
Like, of course, like people would say Frostbite.
No, what would you say?
But, like,
What did I say? Well, let me think here.
like,
I
of course,
probably
gave, like,
because
good
if I had to
opinions
put this thing on if I had to put like I choose one, I had to use it on the attack and on the defense. If I'm just a beginner, if I had to choose one of these two, I'd probably start off with Thetys. Given the reason
Also,
that
yeah, I'll
he has
probably
that
start off with
35%
Thetys.
chance not to get frozen. If you get denied if you get chain denied, you're not in a good situation. That's how people usually do their fights. They chain deny. They're reliant on chain denying. And with the generals, if you put a general on defense, they have that 35% chance not to get stunned, not to get frozen, and then they can either proceed to stun you or do an AoE shield, like cough cough Atum. Shut up, Atum, you don't need those shields. Yeah, so I'd probably choose Thetys for the safe option. If I'm just a beginner player, I'd probably go with Thetys for the 100% stamina drain. That's always triggering. People are always triggered when they get 100% stamina drain. That 35% chance not to get denied. With Frostbite, all you have to do, in all honesty, if you're faster than Frostbite, then he's done. If he can't use his deny, if he can't use any of his stuff, then he's not worth using. He's really not. You can have the most glorious deny in the game, but if you're denied, you can't use. You can't take advantage of it.
Yep.
You just can't.
Well, that's why I like
I'd say
Thetys because of her
Thetys.
trait.
Yep.
Because like it has a 35%, so like there's like a chance that's like a over 30% chance of like missing the deny from like other deniers. So like for Frostbite, it's like 100% chance that he's gonna get denied. Like,
yeah. Yep. At least I'm happy that he didn't get attuned. I'm really happy like Frostbite didn't get like attuned or super attuned. At least he has. Like Energizer works really well with his kit.
Yeah, with his stamina recovery.
A lot of stamina, so
yeah, that's why that combo as well.
All right, thank you guys. I'm gonna try to pull up more people before this stream ends.
Right.
Thanks once again.
Thanks for having us.
Yep. All right.
I got something to say.
I'm taking you out, Demon. I don't trust Demon anymore. All right, let me pull up the Mad Gopher. You are on. Mad Gopher, I'm pulling you up once again. Defend your Thetys. And Jupiter JP, you are on. Can you guys hear me?
Yellow.
Hello.
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 All right, let's try to make this quick. There's a lot of more people that want to defend Frostbite. There's no one else that wants to defend Thetys. If anyone is listening in the stream right now and you want to defend Thetys, please join the Discord because we need more people to defend Thetys. So why don't you start, Mad Gopher?
Hello, me?
Yeah.
Okay, so for Frostbite, he has if you choose all the right skills for him, he has 4 amazing skills, right?
Yes.
Pretty much. But Thetys, she pretty much only has 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the same with like, you know, Ophiuchus, why he's the best epic. He only has that one skill, but that one skill is just so amazing
That's
that
all he
it
needs,
makes him
right?
the best epic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that. I think maybe some people touched on it, but a lot of deny monsters, they only really need to successfully deny one turn, and that's enough to win you the game. But go on.
Yeah. So in PvP, I'd say definitely CDs is better, because in PvP you get to choose your own team, and there's a lot of monsters, you know, Barbatos, Razzle, Voltaic, that can just they just need one turn to win, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much, if you use CDs, there's only one condition that you need to win, and that is you need to be faster, because there's like nothing that's immune to stamina drain. So if as long as you're faster, you're gonna win because you only need that one turn. So, hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in war, which is like what's more important, I guess. You know, there's well, if you use Frostbite, yeah, sure, you can like deny a lot more, but then like, you know, you're starting to get a lot more monsters who are immune to freeze.
Yes.
From different elements other than water, you know, like Louis, Oros, Hercule, Taiga, you know, those are all from different elements, and they're all pretty good monsters, and you're gonna see them on defense. So, you know, like you're gonna have a water monster too who's immune to freeze. So you're gonna have to choose. And not to mention that there's all sorts of monsters from all different elements who are all like hardened or tough or something that they might all, you know, resist it.
Yep.
So, yeah, if you use CDs, it's pretty much a guaranteed deny, unless they pop your ultimate, of course. But then, you know, it's pretty much the same with Frostbite because he's also using that 100% stamina drain on someone.
That's very true. He's using it against most likely the water monster, who can also pop its ultimate.
And speaking of ultimates, I will say that Frostbites is a lot better than Thetys, but I don't think that really matters that much because both of their ultimates, if you get them at the start of a match, you're most likely not going to be using them because they're actually not better than their regular skills. Because, you know, if you use Thetys and you get her ultimate, most likely you're just going to ignore it and just go on, right? If you use Frostbite and you get his ultimate, you know, most likely you're still not going to use it. You're going to start off with Glacial Snowstorm because his ultimate's still not a 100% deny.
Exactly.
So I don't think it matters that much.
I agree with you on that point. All right, let's see. Jupiter, do you want to defend why Frostbite is better, given everything you've heard?
Sorry. Stamina Devours, you kind of deny yourself.
For one turn.
Well, then, what do you do next? You don't have an AoE freeze. You have a single freeze, but most people run like Brutal Harpoon, Frosting Sea Monster, 50%. We all know 50% is really bad. Well, Frostbite has an AoE freeze. He has a single stamina drain skill. Then he's got then he has a second AoE freeze, but with stamina drain. So if someone's immune to freeze, you can just do that.
Mad Gopher, go for it.
Yeah, but Frostbite, with all his amazing skills, he needs the fight to be really prolonged to show his full potential, because how he can deny an enemy multiple times over and over again. But then, you know, most games, they don't last that long, you know, unless like your rune sucks. But like with Thetys, you know, you don't have to worry about those immunities and harden and stuff. You just do it. And plus, you know, if you're really bothered by the fact that she denies herself, just give her like stamina regeneration or something, and the next turn she'll be able to like do elite sea troops and refill everyone's stamina up and buff the heck out of them.
Well, it's only a 50% damage boost, while Frostbite gives 100%.
Yeah, but she also gives precision, which missing, you know, it's a big problem for a lot of monsters.
It's like a 5% chance. I'd take the damage over it.
Yeah, well, in most teams, you only have like one attacker pretty much.
Yeah.
So, like, you're only pretty much giving that 100% boost to that one monster, because on Frostbite, sure, he has like that 40 damage AoE freeze, but like all of his other skills pretty much do no damage.
And that's perfectly fine. He's a deny monster. Why would you want him to attack? He's denied.
I want to bring a question to you, Jupiter. You said that Thetys denies herself. Does that really matter, considering in most team wars, let's say it's just an attacker and a deny. Thetys does stamina devours. The enemy has no stamina. Your attacker can most likely one hit, if not two hit, the enemy attacker or the enemy deny. In which case, does it really matter that General Thetys denies herself?
Because what if you don't kill the attacker? Next turn, what are you gonna do?
Well, lots of attackers also have immobilizing skills themselves. Like, I mean, realistically, every build I make for attackers, I always put in one deny skill, even if it's not the strongest skill, just in case that immobilizing will come in handy.
That is very true. I'm not gonna
I think
argue with that.
Because I agree that Frostbite, in terms of denial, Frostbite is way better in denial. But in terms of practicability, General Thetys, most games, most people would agree, you deny one time, attacker takes care of the rest. I would say that's Thetys' biggest drawback. If you deny and you can't win, if you put yourself in that scenario, you're probably going to end up losing, because after the enemy denier recharges, then they can start immobilizing you. But then you have Tough to kind of help you out, so it's a toss-up.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't want to take that risk with Thetys. Just like, I like the insurance policy, I guess you could say, with Frostbite.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that insurance is kind of iffy, because with Thetys, the only real thing you have to look for in a team is speed, because as long as you're faster than them, you can deny them for sure. But with Frostbite, you have to pick and pick. You have to make sure that not more than one monster is immune to freeze, or else you're going to be screwed. And you're most likely going to try to avoid monsters that have like hardened or tough, or even if you see VIP monsters, for sure, that's pretty risky right there.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to be really picky with Frostbite nowadays, because you see so many monsters that are immune to freeze.
Yeah, so let me bring up a scenario. Let's say it's a team wars involving legendary, water, and let's say thunder, right? And it's water, they put in let's just put Thetys, and then legendary and thunder, they have two Voltics. Would you trust Frostbite to immobilize both Voltics and the Thetys, Jupiter?
Well, it's a legendary. Just get a second legendary deny monster to help you out.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, but if you use Thetys, you can spare up that another spot. Just put like another attacker or supporter or something, because Thetys can do the job herself.
Yeah.
But there is a chance that the Voltic can just be like, "Hey, look, an ultimate." That sucks, doesn't it?
I don't think Voltic's ultimate is special base, right?
Yeah, it's special base.
In that case, I don't think it matters.
Yeah, because usually Voltics, they only have like one strength rune, and that's not enough to wipe out your team.
Yeah.
Actually, I've seen some run like 2 stamina, 1 strength. It's been a while since I've seen one like run like speed or something like that.
If they're doing two stamina, 1 strength, your attacker might be able to take out the Voltic given his base life.
Yeah, just like destroy it.
Yeah, there's so many scenarios. There's still a lot of pro Frostbite. This is interesting. All right, I'm gonna give you guys one last statement, or a little paragraph statement, if you guys want to say something.
Okay, Thetys is better because she has 89 more GPM. Okay, that's all you need to know. All right, gold is all that matters in this game.
You can just breed the breedable legendaries. You don't have to put anything on Thetys.
No, don't disrespect the Thetys, damn it.
Too bad, I'm disrespecting Thetys. I like Frostbite.
All right, that was Mad Gopher's finishing statement. Gold is all that matters in this game. Thank you, Mad Gopher.
Right. Actually, it's food that matters.
Food. Jupiter says food is all that matters.
The Black Lotus fruits.
But question for you, and I should have left Mad Gopher on here. How do you buy food?
With gems.
With gold. Not gems.
With gems.
With gold.
You use the gems to buy gold.
Alright, thank you, Jupiter.
Yeah, see ya.
See you next time. Alright, so another amazing debate between Frostbite and General Thetys. There's mostly Frostbite lovers, so I'm going to start bringing them up. I'm going to try to speed this up because I have another stream planned right after this, so stay tuned for information about that. Let's bring one. 2. Oh, I can hear myself. One of you guys has an echo. Can you try to fix it? I think it's Cabra. Raldio, are you there? Raldio? Okay, let me bring him back. Cabra, are you there?
Yes.
Alright, is it possible for you to eliminate my echo? Like, I don't know if you have me in the background or something?
Like that?
Hello? No, I can still hear an echo.
Hmm.
Or just go for it. Give me your opinion.
Huh?
Give me your opinion.
Can I go to the monster wiki?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I'm going to it right now.
Let me pull up someone else and see what they can say for now.
Okay.
Raldio, are you there?
Hello?
Hey. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Hi. Alright, Raldio, go for it.
But yeah, I think Frostbite is better just because of like that. Like Thetys can still miss,
Uh-huh.
and like they could still get their ultimate.
Okay. So, your main reason for Frostbite being better is you're scared of the enemy's ultimate.
Yeah, because like basically what happened during Team War,
Mhm.
like they got 2 ultimates in a row and I lost.
Okay, that's interesting. Who'd you face on defense?
Like I usually see Thetys more just because of the tough trait.
Okay, is Thetys' ultimate really is it something to worry about though?
Thetys?
Yeah.
No, not really. Because like Frostbite has the better ultimate.
So like even if you stamina devours an enemy Thetys and they get their ultimate, I wouldn't say it's that big of a problem. She does a water-based attack, she has base power, and then she's gonna be left with no stamina.
But like Kylek has a really good ultimate if you think about it. Like
Yeah, that one is worrisome for sure. But here's the thing: if you use Frostbite versus Kaolic, and you can't freeze Kaolic because she's immune to freeze, you can drain her stamina. So that's the same as using Thetys. Kaolic might still get her ultimate.
yep.
So I think regardless if you use Frostbite or Thetys, Stamina Devour, the Kaolic, you're still in the same situation.
Yeah.
So you were saying Frostbite is
I
better
like-
though, right?
Yeah, and Thetys also denies herself, which could be a problem.
Yeah, I think that's the main argument against her. There's definitely been times in my situation where I do Stamina Devours and I end up not winning because my attacker misses, and then that screws me over. So yeah, that's totally a valid argument. Any other reasons for Frostbite being better?
Frostbite also has like 2 deny skills, like Piercing Rainfall and Glacial Snowstorm.
That's true. He has more denial.
And like Piercing Rainfall with like the I think 2-turn cooldown it is.
Yeah, 2 turn, so it can cycle easily after you use other skills.
Yep.
So anything else you want to say for Frostbite?
Not really like.
Yeah, I think a lot has been said already on both of these monsters. So I'm just trying to bring people in, see if they have anything new to offer.
Yep.
Alright, thanks a lot.
Yeah,
Later. Alright, I'm bringing Cabra back. Cabra, go for it.
Wait, me again?
Yes. Yeah, last time I
Oh.
had to take you out.
Okay. I think Frostbite is better because it has Piercing Rainfall and it does deals moderate water damage to all enemies. May freeze all targets. Requires cooldown. And I think the cooldown only takes 2 turns. Well, it does, and it isn't that bad if it freezes all targets.
Right. So
and
what?
I also think that.
Go for it.
I also think that Frostbite is better because it has glacial storms and it removes 100% of stamina from target, and it may freeze all targets. And I think that's pretty good because it can basically stun one monster 2 times. And since it's a really good skill, it requires 4 cooldown.
Yeah.
And
So
I also think that Icy Leech is also good because it removes 100% of stamina from a target and gains 40 stamina. I mean, you won't only just remove all of their stamina, you'll also gain 40% of your stamina.
yeah, you recover stamina. So what are your thoughts on Thetys?
I think that Thetys is not as good as Frostbite because it doesn't have as much good skills as Frostbite.
Yeah, the main Thetys deny skill would have to be Stamina Devours.
Yeah.
All right. Any last thing? Yeah, go for it.
I do think that Stamina Devours might be better than Frostbite, than one of Frostbite's skills, which would be. Let me see. Which would be. And that it's better than Glacial Snowstorm.
Alright, so you think overall Frostbite is better, but Stamina Devours is better than Frostbite's best skill, Glacial Snowstorm?
Yeah.
Alright, interesting. Alright, any last thing you want to say about these two monsters? Any of these monsters?
Well, they're both equally good, but
Okay.
I still think that Frostbite's a bit better.
Okay. So both, regardless of like everything, both monsters are still like top monsters, but Frostbite has a slight advantage over Thetys.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Kabura. Well, I already asked you for the last thing. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna be pulling up 2 people I see here, and then if Terra comes back, I'm gonna debate Terra because I'm curious to see what he has to say about Frostbite being better. So let's see. Pro Gaming, Rusty. Oh, hold on.
Yep.
Rusty?
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Is
Let me
my
get.
question?
Yeah, no, you're fine. Let me get Pro Gaming back. Pro Gaming, I can hear.
Yep.
Try to fix that, and then I'll put you back in.
Sorry.
All right, Rusty, go for it.
All right. I think that Frostbite is better because he has Glacial Snowstorm and Piercing Rainfall. If he goes Piercing Rainfall first, he can deny them, and then since has a two-turn cooldown, when they're done, you can do Glacial Snowstorm. After that, you can do Glacial Snowstorm. And if you have someone like Cabin Fisher or Rose that can't be frozen, you can do Glacial Snowstorm on them, and then it'll freeze everyone else. And you can do Piercing Rainfall, and and then they can be denied again. And you need 2 just in case your attacker misses.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on General Thetys? Is she good at all? Or is she just not as good as Frostbite, but still very good?
Yeah, she's good. It's just that Frostbite just has better skills, and Frostbite has better stats, like a higher power and a higher life, and that increases his chances of survival.
Do you think it matters if we're talking about people that have only like level 10 runes? Do you think in that case Frostbite is still better, or do you think General Thetys is now better? Do you think it changes any bit?
No, because I think Frostbite's still better.
Interesting.
And also you have another stamina drain skill, just in case you have like a Timerion and you have Voltaic, you have to miss.
Actually,
like if you miss.
So are you talking about player versus player or team wars involving like Timerion and Voltaic?
Like PvP, because
So if it is Timerion Voltaic, what's a third monster you think you'd see?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, say player versus player. What are like 3 legendaries? You named Voltaic, Timerion. What's another one?
Barbatos.
Okay, so
Actually, no.
enemy has Barbatos, Timerion, Voltaic. Do you trust Frostbite to immobilize all 3 of them?
Yeah.
Who would you use Glacial Snowstorm on?
I would use it on Timerion, because most of the time I always see my Glacial Snowstorm landing on Voltaic.
Okay, but there is a 20% chance it might not land though.
Yeah.
Which is risky. Compared to if you ran General Thetys, you can do Stamina Devours all across the board.
Yeah, but then that remobilize yourself too. And if you use someone like Ogma and he goes first, then you can use the Divine Shield.
Well, I mean, in player versus player, why don't you just run a Voltaic or a Barbatos? Who can win in one hit?
You would use like, for me, I use Demise, Barbatos.
Well, exactly. Demise and Barbatos, they can win without needing an extra turn of immobilizing, I would say.
Yeah, but you can also miss with Barbatos. Like, sometimes I see him missing.
You can Master of Pain twice, since it's 100% accuracy, and Timerion can attack you.
Yeah, but most of the time I don't see them running that much life runes, so I just use Hellfire.
Hellfire, and that normally kills them, huh?
Yeah, sometimes they miss, and sometimes I would, like, if there was like another dark monster, like that's more life.
Yeah.
And Master of Pain isn't enough to kill him, then my Frostbite always goes twice.
Yeah, because he's fast.
And then I immobilize him.
Alright, yeah, fair enough. Alright, any last thing you want to say about these? I see you have an avatar of Frostbite, so I can tell you like him over Thetys a lot more.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if I made a mistake. Yesterday I chose Origins over Stream.
Also, your comments. Yeah. I mean, it's fine. Next time you know better. Alright, thanks for being on.
Yeah.
Alright, so Pro Gaming, you are on?
Yep.
Alright, I still hear an echo, so I'm just gonna let you speak.
Sure.
Whenever you're ready.
Anyway, I choose Frostbite just because if you have higher level runes on Frostbite than Thetys, then Frostbite could drain her stamina and deny. Also, he has this glacial snowstorm, which can freeze the attacker so they can't even do anything. And
okay, so let me ask. Oh, there's still echo. Never mind.
oh, sorry.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask. Let's assume the opposite. Let's say you have better speed runes on Thetys. Thetys can also easily immobilize Frostbite. So what do you have to say about that? If you heard me. Or maybe not. Okay. So, let me see. Hold on. That's pretty much gonna be concluding it. Let me get Terra. I want to see if Terra Crank can be on because he's pro Frostbite. And I'm actually, I came into this discussion kind of anticipating most people would pick Frostbite. However, I had hoped that General Thetys would win, just because I'm actually going to go ahead and say that Thetys, in my opinion, is better. And I know that might disagree with a lot of people. but just given the fact that she can stamina devours, and most games do not require more than the initial like 2 turns. If in many scenarios, if like say a Thunder Water War, you bring in Thetys to stamina devours, and then you use your Voltic, and Voltic can eliminate all the enemies. In a Dark War, likewise, Water Dark, Barbatos can do his whatchamacallit. Barbatos can do his I want to say inner strength, that's Shalnar. Barbatos can give himself double damage and then do Hellfire, and most likely that'll eliminate all of the enemy monsters. And this is due to the fact that a lot of people do not run life runes on defense. And in multiple scenarios, I would say Thetys, due to the fact that she has tough, although it's only 35% chance to not be immobilized, that gives her a huge advantage, especially considering monsters like KO Lake are faster, Cabinfish is faster. Thetys and Frostbite, they are pretty darn slow. It's sad, it's true, they are pretty slow. 3,421, that is not a good speed to have for Deny Monster. Whatever you're going up against, even lots of the magic monsters, the Possessors, they have a way better speed than Frostbite and Thetys. So for that reason, I would say General Thetys takes it. Now of course it's very situational. If you're in a scenario where you anticipate the battle taking a long time, I would say take Frostbite. Frostbite is better. Frostbite is definitely for sure better than immobilizing, because he can immobilize longer. He can, like, if you do it right, if you can do Piercing Rainfall first, then you can do Glacial Snowstorm, then you can do Icy Leech, and then you can do Piercing Rainfall again. You can throw in Arctic Boost whenever you need to. As far as skills go, I would say Frostbite is way better than Thetys. However, the way the game is set up, the way the meta is, I would say Stamina Devours is just one of those skills that really put her above every other monster, because no one currently in the game is immune to being Stamina Devoured or Stamina Drained. There's just no block against that. It doesn't matter if you're at VIP, it doesn't matter if you have Tough, it doesn't matter if you have Hardened. Stamina Drain will always work. With that being said, yes, the enemy can still get their ultimates, but most of the time, ultimates don't matter too much. There are of course some deniers that have amazing ultimates, but like in terms of water monsters, even if you do Glacial Snowstorm on the enemy water monster is immune to freeze most likely. It can still get its ultimate too. So whatever the argument is for the enemy gets their ultimate, it applies to Frostbite for anyone who's immune to freeze too. And like I mentioned, there are so many monsters that are also beginning to be immune to freeze from other elements, such as Louis, who's an earth monster, Hercule, who's a metal monster, Taiga, who's a light monster. Like, I guarantee you, if you start doing wars involving light and water, you're gonna see Taiga and maybe like a Cabinfish because he can stun, and Taiga because he's immune to freeze, and a lot of people bring people that can freeze. So the best offense against these monsters would have to be General Thetys. That's at least my opinion. So yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna say. I was really hoping Tara would come back so we could debate that, but maybe next time. There's 3 announcements I think I have. The first of which is that next week, I didn't have time to make the thumbnail for it, but next week we're going to be doing Demise versus Incognita. So that's next week, Saturday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's the first announcement. Second announcement is that in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I'm going to be doing a Clash Royale tournament live stream. It's going to be a 100 gem tournament, or I think it's 100 players, 100 gems, I don't know. But that's going to happen in 15 minutes. And the third thing I want to say is that I'm going to try to do a live stream later today, probably at 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. It's going to be a Team Wars live stream. It's been a while since I've done those. Now, the main problem is that normally when I try to stream Sunday at 5 and above, the stream always sucks. Like, I have a lot of drop frames. It's bad quality. You guys would probably have to buffer and watch it like at 360p, which I don't want happening. So I'm going to try it. If it doesn't work, it's not going to work. So sorry, but I'm going to try it regardless. I think it's Epic, Lights, and Earth, if I'm not mistaken. So you guys want to start thinking of suggestions for that, and hopefully you guys can join me for that live stream. I'd be happy to see all of you there. And I think that is going to conclude it. Thank you all for being a part of this stream. Thank you to everyone who's a part of the conversation. Darn it, Terra Crank is here. Okay, we're gonna bring Terra Crank in here, and then we're gonna debate this. And after this, the stream will end. Terra, you're on. I waited for you.
Oh,
okay.
I thought I didn't make it.
No, you're good. I talked too much. Go. All right. You're saying Frostbite is better, right? I would.
Why is that? Okay, you can go.
Yeah. I'm gonna say. Let me just say I disagree. I think skills-wise, Frostbite is better, but in terms of the game mechanics and usability, I would say General Thetys outranks Frostbite.
Yeah, but the problem with Thetys is she can stamina drain. Yeah, it's good. It goes through every immunity. That's a huge plus point. But the next problem is if they have no stamina, will still be able to do the ultimate attack. And there are so much nowadays which can stun you, they can freeze you, they can possess you, and that's one thing that really stands in her way.
So give me an example of a monster that you fear their ultimate attack.
Mostly for defense, you can see monsters like Barbatos sometimes, maybe PvP wise, and if you can't deny him and he gets the ultimate, you may die because his ultimate deals very heavy AoE damage.
What about given the fact that the chance to get an ultimate is like 10%, I think, against 5%? 5, yeah, so that's not a high percentage. You know, you have a higher percent of other stuff happening, I would say.
Yeah, I know, but it is still a chance that you will get hit. It's not a for sure deny.
Mm-hmm. So it's the ultimate is the main thing that puts Frostbite over the top.
The ultimate is definitely better than Thetys.
Mm-hmm. Okay, how about just in terms of specifically in Team Wars? Would you say Frostbite is better or General Thetys?
Well, in terms of defense, I say Frostbite. Even though his trait is one of the worst, specifically for water monsters, is 3 of his best skills are deny, and if you put him on defense, he most likely won't do something bad.
I mean, okay, so he has a AoE freeze, right? He has a AoE freeze that can drain, and then he has a single drain.
Yep.
So, I see where you're coming from. At the same time, like, say it's a light war, a water war, and then an element war, right? A rarity.
Mm-hmm.
So I mentioned Taiga's immune to freeze. The water monster, you can bring someone immune to freeze, and then the rarity, rare and above, we have someone who's immune to freeze. So even if the enemy has Frostbite, and even if it does AoE freeze, 2 out of 3 of your monsters, or all 3 of your monsters, will be immune to freeze. So even if it hits Piercing Rainfall, Glacial Snowstorm, you're still safe. You're still safe.
Yeah, yeah. It's basically the negative part of Frostbite is he can, while Thetys drains everybody, Frostbite can only drain one enemy.
Mm-hmm. So that
he can drain everybody.
And then how about in terms of offense? You would say Frostbite over Thetys?
And it's hard. Like I would maybe still say Frostbite, even though you have maybe 2 monsters immune to freeze. I wouldn't say you have to kind of accept it that one will sustain the freeze, but maybe you should then pick the monster that is the most threat to you.
Mm-hmm. It's like, what if I asked you, in a Team Wars involving water, would you bring Cabinfish or Frostbite?
In terms of offense or defense?
In terms of offense.
In offense, I would go Frostbite.
Oh, really?
I'd say offense. Yeah, it's just his skills are better than Cabinfish.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe for offense, I would maybe prefer Cabinfish over Frostbite because like Cabinfish is immune to freeze, where Frostbite can be denied all the time.
Yeah, right. Because it's like for Magics, Uru, for offensive purposes, the fact that he can stun, that overpowers the other magic monsters that can possess, right?
Yeah.
So like what?
So currently there are only like 2 magic monsters immune to stun, and those monsters aren't really the best.
Exactly.
For defense,
exactly. So that's why in my opinion, bringing Thetys, who can stamina devour, that outranks Frostbite, who can he can drain 1 monster, but he can freeze the rest, which that may not help you too much, I think. Now, I think before we had Taiga, Hercule, Louis, before we had all these other monsters immune to freeze, I would say Frostbite easily takes it. But given this rise of monsters immune to freeze, who knows how many more monsters are going to be immune to freeze? The fact that no one is immune to stamina drain, I think Thetys is going to like outrank Frostbite now and in the near future.
Yeah, I guess I have to give you that. It's just the stamina drain, so far it goes through every immunity, and that's what makes her unique.
Until they change that, I would say Thetys is gonna take it. But there's no denying Frostbite. For those battles that are gonna last long, you take Frostbite because he can immobilize better.
Yeah, for immobilizing, I take Frostbite. Like, he has 2 stamina drain skills, which also go for every immunity. He can AoE freeze 2 times, one only runs on 2-turn cooldown. And one thing I want to point out is, I think Frostbite has a skill that also drains 50% of stamina, right?
Yeah, no one uses it though, just because his other skills.
Yeah, I mean, you can use it instead of Arctic Boost.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I was thinking.
I mean, I think you shouldn't use it, but if you want to go full deny, you can use, I think it's called Jaded Strike.
It's Frozen Gust.
Yeah, if you use Frozen Gust on the enemy that charged, you can use the skill and the enemy has to charge again. I don't say you should use it, but it's one option.
I agree.
It's an option, but it's not really the best one. It's also for defense.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I knew coming into this, it's like I knew there was gonna be both sides, and I knew a lot of people would pick Frostbite, and at the end of the day, it really is tough. But I don't know. I mean, personally, I think I would use Frostbite more than Thetys. But if it came down to it, I would have to say Thetys is better.
Yeah, it's a stamina drain. It's the one thing that gives her the huge plus point.
Yeah.
And plus, she has a better trait.
Yeah.
That's also a good thing. Frostbite has just energized, and it's in terms of water mounts, it's probably the worst trait you can ever have.
That's the big one. Like energized wouldn't be that bad if Frostbite was fast. If he had a speed of 3,465, like the other deniers, but he doesn't. He's slow and he's energized. So, all things being equal, if you have the same runes as your opponent, I'm sorry, Frostbite is a terrible option. If you're faster, then obviously, but you have an unfair advantage if you have like level 10 runes and your opponent has level 9 runes.
Yeah, then that's why I think use always a monster with a special immunity to the knife, especially for team wars. Because if they get to move, you have a problem. You may use your common and uncommon, and you already lost the coin.
Yep. All right, Tara, thank you for joining me. I really wanted to hear your opinion on this.
As always, no problem.
All right, thank you, Tara. All right, so Tara finally joined, and we debated over Frostbite and Thetys. So that's that. You guys can take from this comparison whatever you guys want to take from it, whoever you think won. With that being said, this stream is ending. In now 4 minutes, I will be doing a Clash Royale stream, a 100-player tournament. Hope to see some of you there. If not, well then, I'll see you guys later for the Team Wars live stream. Hopefully it works. And with that being said, remember to dream big and pursue your passions.